Are you optimistic that we're going to see progress at the peace talks in Addis Ababa now?
Well, I think with the fighting that's ongoing, it's difficult to see that there will be much in the way of negotiations until both sides really agree that they need to stop the fighting on the ground. And when one side or the other takes territory, as has happened recently in Bentiu and Bor, it's easy for them to then to feel emboldened and want to continue. But I'm here to say that there is no way that this crisis can be resolved through fighting, armed fighting, and we are encouraging and urging both sides to really put down the weapons and abide by the cessation of hostilities agreement that they signed back in January.
The US recently threatened to impose sanctions. Do you think that those will actually be implemented?
So the sanctions work in a way where the Secretary of Treasury, along with the President, have the ability, now that the executive order has been released, to put sanctions on any individual who is deemed to be violating either the talks, is committing atrocities, is creating an impediment to the peace talks. Any of these we can then put on a list, and a package has to be put together, and that's what is in the works.
Riek Machar's made it clear that his goal is to overthrow this government in a military coup. How would the US respond to him if he was to install himself in power?
Right now, we do have a government a president that was elected, and we do not support people trying to overthrow a democratically elected government. So it does make it difficult to then try to work with Riek Machar, who obviously has gone on record saying that he is trying to overthrow President Kiir. We have very clear legal provisions in our Foreign Assistance Act that would make that virtually impossible to work with Riek Machar if he were somehow to manage to take over.
There are a number of different investigations going on into the human rights abuses that have happened here. Are you confident that we'll ever see some kind of accountability in country?
You cannot have a leader, rebel or otherwise, who says, I'm in charge of all of these troops, they fall under my command and my control, and then say, oh, but I'm not responsible for their brutal behavior. Yes, you are.